When you think of baseball, there's one name that just towers over everyone else. A player so legendary, he didn't just play the game, he was the game. Today, we're digging into the myth and the man, Babe Ruth.
The Bambino, the Sultan of Swat. I mean, come on, even his nicknames are epic, right? He wasn't just another sports hero. He became a cultural icon, a truly larger-than-life figure who's just woven into the American story. But here's the part of the story that'll really get you. This hero's journey was anything but easy. The real question is, how does a kid who was literally labeled incorrectable and sent away to a reform school become maybe the most celebrated athlete of his time? To really understand the legend, you have to go all the way back to the beginning. And let me tell you, it is not the squeaky clean origin story you might expect for a national hero. Get this, at just 7 years old, George Herman Ruth was sent to St. Mary's, a place that was part reformatory, part orphanage. This was no summer camp, believe me. It was a place of tough, iron-fisted discipline, and it would be his home for the next 12 years. And you can see him right here, just one of the boys at St. Mary's. It was inside those walls, though, that he found his saving grace, the game of baseball. He didn't just play, he was obsessed. We're talking something like 200 games a year, learning to master every single position. This quote really says it all. It points to the incredible influence of one man, Brother Matthias. Now, he was the school's prefect of discipline, but he saw something special in this troubled young kid. He became a mentor, a father figure, and, funnily enough, the guy whose powerful swing Ruth would copy for the rest of his life. So, coming out of St. Mary's, Ruth's talent was just undeniable. He gets signed professionally and quickly lands with the Boston Red Sox, where he bursts onto the scene. But maybe not how you'd expect.
He was a pitcher, and a ridiculously good one at that. He quickly became one of the best left-handers in the entire league. His dominance on the mound was actually his first ticket to stardom.
And this right here perfectly shows the incredible dilemma he created. It was like having two superstars in one body. On one side, you have this absolutely elite pitcher. I mean, look at these stats. A 1.75 ERA, a 14-inning complete game win in the World Series. That's just wild. But then there was the bat. He had this raw, game-changing power. In an era where home runs were rare, the dead ball era, his were like a lightning strike. He knew it too, and he demanded to play every day. So they put him in the outfield, and boom, in 1919, he breaks the home run record, changing baseball forever.
All right, this brings us to a moment in sports history so infamous, it literally has its own name. We're talking about a single transaction that would change the destiny of two of baseball's most famous teams.
The date was December 26, 1919, the day after Christmas. The owner of the Red Sox, Harry Frazee, was short on cash, so he made a deal that would haunt the city of Boston for almost a century. He sold Babe Ruth to the rival New York Yankees.
And the price? $100,000. Now, that might not sound like a ton today, but back then, it was an absolutely staggering amount of money. The most ever paid for a player. This wasn't just a trade, it was a seismic shift in the world of baseball.
And the fallout? Well, the numbers here tell the whole story. It's a tale of two franchises heading in completely opposite directions. Before the trade, the Red Sox were a dynasty with 5 championships. After, nothing. For 84 years. The Yankees, who had 0 titles before Ruth, went on to win 26. That, my friends, is the curse of the Bambino in stark black and white numbers. So what happened when Ruth actually put on the pinstripes and moved to New York? Well, he didn't just join a new team. He basically built an empire. In New York, Ruth's powerful swing pretty much single-handedly started what we now call the live ball era. He transformed the game from a low-scoring, strategic game into a thrilling home run spectacle that fans couldn't get enough of. And the home run numbers were just out of this world. He'd already set the record with 29. His first year as a Yankee, he almost doubles it with 54. The next year, 59. Then, in 1927, he does what everyone thought was impossible: 60 home runs in a single season. The crowds coming to see him were so massive that the Yankees literally had to build a new stadium. And on opening day in 1923, in a moment that feels like it's straight out of a movie, Ruth himself hits the park's very first home run. It was immediately and forever
known as the house that Ruth built. And then there's the big one. The number that stood like a mountain for almost 40 years, 714. His career home run total, a record so monumental it became a part of American folklore. But see, Ruth's legacy isn't just about the numbers on a stat sheet, as amazing as they are. It's about how he went from being a baseball player to being a permanent fixture in American culture. His personality was just as big as his swing. The guy was an absolute force of nature. His incredible dominance on the field combined with that massive persona off of it, well, it made him America's first true celebrity athlete. The list of accolades just goes on and on. He was one of the very first 5 players inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. He was the heart of a Yankees dynasty that won 7 pennants and 4 World Series. He basically transformed the entire economy and popularity of baseball, and even today, decades after he played his last game, his name is still synonymous with greatness. So we'll leave you with this to chew on. Babe Ruth didn't just play baseball. He completely reinvented it. He changed the strategy, the style, the very soul of the game. So what other athlete can you think of who has so completely, so totally transformed their entire sport?